special meeting to choose new king on the 24th of January. Bukit Kukus landslide report to be presented on Wednesday. You're watching the evening edition of News on 2. I'm Adrian Seat. A special meeting of the Conference of the Malay Rulers to elect the 16th Yang di-Pertuan Agong and his deputy will convene on the 24th of January. Now, according to the keeper of the Rulers' seal, Tan Sri Syed Daniel Syed Ahmad, the matter was decided by the rulers in their meeting at 10:30 a.m. today at Istana Negara, which also fixed 31st of January for the swearing-in of the new king and his deputy. The meeting today was attended by the Sultan of Terengganu, Sultan Mizan Zainal Abidin, Raja Perlis, Tuanku Syed Sirajuddin, Tuanku Syed Putra Jamilul Lail, Yang di-Pertuan Besar Negeri Sembilan, Tuanku Mukhris, Tuanku Munawir, Sultan of Johor, Sultan Ibrahim Sultan Iskandar, Sultan of Perak, Sultan Nazrin Shah, and Sultan of Kedah, Sultan Salihuddin Sultan Badli Shah. The meeting was convened following Sultan Muhammad V stepping down as the Yang di-Pertuan Agong effective yesterday. Tan Sri Syed Daniel, in his statement, said the Sultan of Pahang, Sultan Ahmad Shah, could not attend the meeting due to poor health, while the Sultan of Selangor, Sultan Sharafuddin Idris Shah, is overseas. According to Tan Sri Syed Daniel, the Malay rulers present took cognizance and respected Sultan Muhammad's decision to step down as king. They also recorded their highest appreciation to Sultan Muhammad for fulfilling the trust placed in His Majesty during his tenure from the 13th of December 2016 to 6th of January 2019. There was no interference from the government in the matters surrounding the resignation of the 15th Yang di-Pertuan Agong, Sultan Muhammad V, nor will there be any government's interference in the appointment of His Majesty's successor. Now, Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said the decision will be entirely up to the Conference of Rulers. Speaking to the media after officiating the Terengganu Bersatu headquarters in Kuala Terengganu, Tun Dr. Mahathir said the Conference of Rulers had rulers and procedures pertaining to the succession of the king, which were enshrined in the Constitution. He also said that the government hopes that the new Yang di-Pertuan Agong would be elected as soon as possible.
Saya harap secepat mungkinlah. Saya sebagai Perdana Menteri terpaksa menghadap dengan Yang di-Pertuan Agong.
Tun Dr. Mahathir also refutes the possibility of any law amendments being made, admitting he was rather surprised by His Majesty's resignation. On their one-day visit to Terengganu, Tun Dr. Mahathir and wife, Tun Dr. Siti Hasmah Muhammad Ali, also visited the Taman Sinar Harapan Bukit Besar Shelter Home. Now, the faces of the 62 residents of the shelter home reflected their excitement and joy over their first meeting with the Prime Minister and his wife. During their one-hour visit, Tun Dr. Mahathir and wife spoke to residents of the shelter home and presented gifts of hampers and cash from the Social Welfare Department, or JKM.
Tun Dr. Mahathir kena Perdana Menteri bahagian dia bahagian dia bagi hadiah ada sikit cedera mata. Baru first time berjumpa.
Gembira sebab handsome, comel. Kali pertama jumpa.
What began in 1984, the shelter home is managed by JKM for the benefit of the needy and children up to 14 years of age who have learning disabilities. The Pulau Pinang City Council, or MBPP, is expected to present its full report on the deadly landslide at the Bukit Kukus Pad Road site on Wednesday. Now, the report on the incident, which took place in October of last year, will include reports from the state authorities and other relevant quarters. Pulau Pinang Chief Minister Chow Kon Yeow said the state government is, however, still awaiting the police report on the incident.
Kita telah mengarahkan MBPP untuk membentangkan laporan siasatan mereka sebelum negeri buat apa-apa keputusan. Berhubung dengan siasatan PDRM dan juga agensi persekutuan, ianya adalah di luar kawalan kita dan kita pun berharap mereka akan habiskan siasatan mereka.
Chow informed of the matter after the State Civil Servant Assembly in Georgetown, Pulau Pinang today. On the 19th of October in 2018, a landslide brought down containers that served as workers' quarters at the site, killing 9 foreign workers. Subsequently, the state government set up a special committee chaired by Deputy Chief Minister Datuk Dr. Ahmad Zakiyuddin Abdul Rahman, aimed at identifying the cause of the accident and to submit recommendations to avoid similar incidents from recurring. The Education Ministry today rubbished allegations that tenders to supply cooked food to school hostels are being monopolised by Parti Pribumi Bersatu Malaysia or Bersatu supporters. In a statement, the ministry said the allegations made by a social media user who posted the claims on Facebook were slanderous and meant to harm the ministry's image. The ministry has made a police report on the allegations. According to the statement, under the new administration, improvements have been made on how project tenders are carried out, adding that for the first time ever, procurements in 2018 were fully done online through the e-Perolehan or EP system. It's said that the ministry made its decisions based on the evaluation matrix set by the Finance Ministry with the evaluation marks generated by the EP. The Minister, the Chief Secretary, the Minister's Political Secretary and the Ministry's Procurement Secretary are not involved in any procurement board meetings or decision-making process. The Ministry added that 793 tenders have been carried out through the EP, including for the supply of cooked food, security services and cleaning services. The Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court today declined to grant bail to former Goldman Sachs Bank Ng Chong Hua or Roger Ng, who is charged for alleged money laundering of funds siphoned off from the One Malaysia Development Berhad or 1MDB State Fund due to insufficient evidence that he was too unfit to remain in custody. Now, the judge, Edwin Paramjyoti Michael Muniandi, during the proceedings also extended Ng's remand until the court makes a decision on his extradition. In a proceeding last Friday, Ng's lawyer, Datuk Tan Hock Chuan, had said Ng's health had deteriorated since he was in custody from the 1st of November. Ng was hospitalized for 5 days from the 3rd of December for leptospirosis, food poisoning, dengue and a viral infection. In the proceeding today, Datuk Tan argued that he has no access to Ng's medical reports despite requests made to the prison authorities. He has also requested for visiting hours to be increased to 2 hours twice a week from the current 1 hour per week. Judge Edwin Paramjyoti, however, said the request was not within the court's jurisdiction. The government on the 12th of December 2018 filed an application to extradite Ng to the United States to face 3 criminal charges related to 1MDB. The application was made by the Attorney General's chambers on behalf of the US government, which wanted Ng to be sent back to the US to face charges in the federal court in New York. The Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court today allowed an application by Tan Sri Musa Aman for his passport to be temporarily returned to him in order for the former Sabah Chief Minister to travel to London and Singapore for medical checkups. Judge Rosina Ayub allowed the application with several conditions. Tan Sri Musa is required to report himself at the Malaysian Embassy in London and the High Commission in Singapore once every 3 days from the 23rd of January until the 8th of February. The 68-year-old politician must also state the address of his lodgings in the 2 cities in advance before his passport can be released to him. The court also stated that Tan Sri Musa's movements are limited only to Singapore and London. If he fails to abide by this, his bail will be revoked. Tan Sri Musa is also required to return his passport to the court before the 11th of February. The court also imposed a temporary bail of 200,000 ringgit, which would be returned to Tan Sri Musa after he re-surrenders his passport to the court. The Sungai Sibunga Assemblyman was charged with 35 corruption charges involving 263 million ringgit in connection with a timber concession contracts in Sabah, but was released on a 2 million ringgit bail with 2 sureties. The Johor Bahru Magistrates Court has charged a husband-wife duo for the murder of a 5-year-old boy on the 25th of December last year. No plea, however, was recorded from both the accused. The accused, Muhammad Wirah Muhammad Yaakob, 33, who is the victim's father, and his wife, Nur Akmal Rosli, 22, who is also the victim's stepmother, were charged with abusing the boy, which resulted in his death between 11 a.m. and 10:25 p.m. at a house in Jalan Sutra, Taman Sentosa in Johor Bahru. Now, the charge was made under Section 302 of the Penal Code, read together with Section 34 of the same code, which carries the death penalty upon conviction. The accused nodded when the charge was read before Magistrate Rashida Baharom. The case was conducted by Deputy Public Prosecutor Abdul Jalil Salam Muhammad. The court fixed 17th of February for the case mentioned, pending the DNA, post-mortem and chemistry reports. A 32-year-old man had to spend the night in a police lockup after he was caught stealing 55 boxes of Panadols worth more than 800 ringgit from a hypermarket in Kulim, Kedah. Now, in the incident at Jalan Lembah Impian, the suspect, together with an accomplice, still at large, was caught by security officers and staff of the hypermarket. Kulim Police Chief Superintendent Ahmad Nasir Jaafar said one of the security guards who was making his rounds noticed two men behaving suspiciously at the medicine section. When he noticed one of them putting the Panadol boxes in a basket, he started following them until he saw them transfer the boxes into a backpack. The guard and staff of the hypermarket tried to stop them, but one of them managed to escape with the Panadol boxes. The arrested suspect was then handed over to the police for further investigation. The case is being investigated under Section 380 of the Penal Code for theft, which carries a maximum 10 years imprisonment and a fine upon conviction. Now, 547 notices have been issued against owners of restaurants, food stalls and hawkers in Kedah after the smoking ban in all food premises was fully enforced nationwide on the 1st of January. Of the total, 522 notices were issued to errant eatery owners who failed to display the no smoking sign. Kedah Health, Rural Development, Religion and State Government-Linked Companies Committee Chairman Datuk Dr. Ismail Saleh said 25 warning notices were also issued against individuals who smoke in prohibited areas following inspections conducted on 1,278 food premises from the 1st of January until yesterday.
Tujuan perwataan ini adalah untuk melindungi orang awam, termasuk golongan bukan perokok yang terdedah kepada bahaya merokok, kepada bahaya orang yang merokok, yang kita sebut juga passive smoker. Jadi mereka duduk jauh dalam lingkungan 3 meter itu akan terdedah kepada bahaya asap rokok yang dikeluarkan oleh perokok tadi, dan ini termaktub, yang ini saya ingat tuan-tuan maklum dan faham, dalam artikel 8 WHO FCTC. Jadi konvensyen ini bukan peringkat ni kita ni, peringkat dunia telah ada satu konvensyen, suatu yang memberi perlindungan kepada mereka-mereka yang tidak merokok tadi.
Speaking to reporters after officiating an event in Alor today, Datuk Dr. Ismail said a total of 2,440 operators of premises had been briefed since November on the standard operating procedures and methods of enforcing the ban under the Control Regulations of Tobacco Products Amendment 2018, the Food Act 1983. Meanwhile, in Labuan, 84 notices have been issued to eatery owners for not displaying the no smoking signs in an operation conducted by the Labuan Health Department on 230 premises. According to Labuan Health Department Director Dr. Ismuni Bohari, the operation, dubbed Ops Rokok, involved 78 enforcement personnel.
Macam malam ini kita ada keluarkan peringatan, pengenakan mesra pertama, kedua, dan lepas tu kita akan membuat teguran, dan sekiranya masih juga selepas tempoh yang kita bagikan, kita akan proceed dengan tindakan seperti mana yang telah dimaklumkan oleh YB Menteri baru-baru ini.
Dr. Ismuni said his department will continue to give its full commitment in ensuring that the smoking ban is adhered to in the interest of protecting the public from the dangers of cigarette smoke. Coming up, a more holistic school curriculum on the cards. School curriculum will be changed to focus on helping students to master Islamic teachings, English, as well as science and technology. Now, Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad today said this is important to help the nation advance and stand tall amongst others across the globe. Tun Dr. Mahathir also reminded educators to continue playing their roles to realize the government's desire in producing a generation who can master English. Aside from knowledge, the Premier said the education policy is also about forming a good personality, and thus there is a need to focus on religious teachings in Islam regarding the values of life. He said the government would be introducing an education system directed more towards programs to shape Malaysians to be more competent and is able to advance Malaysia more rapidly than before.
Saya harap semua anggota warga pendidikan akan ambil perhatian kepada perkara ini. Kita akan ubah kurikulum dalam sekolah-sekolah supaya tumpuan diberi kepada penguasaan ajaran Islam yang sebenar, penguasaan bahasa Inggeris dan penguasaan sains dan teknologi. Dengan ini kita fikir kita mampu berdiri sama tinggi, duduk sama rendah dengan bangsa-bangsa lain di dunia.
Tun Dr. Mahathir said this at the gathering with educators in Kuala Nerus, Terengganu. The Human Resources Ministry is awaiting the report from the Special Committee on Foreign Workers on the issue of Nepali government's ban on workers to Malaysia. Its Deputy Minister, Dato' Mahfuz Omar, is confident the problem will be solved soon, adding that the report will be tabled in 2 months' time.
Saya fikir bergantung kepada report jasa kuasa bebas itu nanti. Sebab sebarang dasar dan polisi berkaitan dengan pekerja asing itu akan dilihat apa nanti cadangan-cadangan yang akan dikemukakan oleh jawatankuasa bebas, dan kemudian semua perkara yang berkaitan dengan pekerja asing termasuk isu-isu yang berkaitan dengan soal Nepal juga akan diambil kira daripada report-report tersebut.
In May, the government of Nepal had barred all its workers from coming to Malaysia to seek employment because it was unhappy with restrictive Malaysian immigration requirements for its workers. However, in October, Human Resources Minister M. Kulasegaran had met with Nepali authorities and an agreement was apparently reached. Now, currently, there are 35,000 security guards from Nepal serving in various sectors such as manufacturing, construction and security. Commenting on the plight of Utusan Malaysia Berhad employees who have not been paid their salaries for the last 2 months, Dato' Mahfuz advised them to make an official complaint to the Labour Department.
Pekerja, mereka boleh mengadu kepada JTK, Jabatan Tenaga Kerja. Saya dah cek, mereka boleh mengadu dan juga mereka boleh membuat aduan kepada JPP tentang kegagalan ini. Secara resmi, walaupun kita sudah tahu, tapi mereka harus buat satu aduan secara resmi untuk membolehkan tindakan-tindakan lanjut untuk diambil oleh JTK dan juga JPP untuk bagi memastikan supaya hak mereka ini terbela.
The staff of Utusan Malaysia Berhad were told that their salaries would be delayed but were promised that payment will be made by 30th of December, but they have yet to get their salaries up until now. AirAsia Group Berhad will cease charging the RM3 fee for all flights departing the Kuala Lumpur International Airport 2 or KLIA 2 beginning today in a move to keep airfares low. Its Chief Executive Officer Riyad Asmad in a statement said this development comes following the airline's announcement last week, and AirAsia will be in direct contact with Malaysia Airports Holdings Berhad or MAHB for any additional costs. The KLIA 2 fee was introduced in May of 2014 to cover the additional costs at the airport due to the use of mandatory facilities imposed by MAHB. It includes the aero bridges and SITA, airport management check-in and board systems, compared to the low-cost carrier terminal or LCCT previously. And that item concludes this evening's edition of News on 2. In our top story, special meeting to choose new king on the 24th of January. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon for more news updates. I'm Adrian Seat. Stay tuned to TV2 and have a pleasant evening. Thanks for watching.